probably my 7th or 8th time driving through Monument Valley. Really never gets old. It's pretty awesome. It's November. It's still 2020. I'm at the Kane Gulch Ranger Station in Utah. So I'm about to do what I think will be a 3 to 6 day backpacking trip. And the reason for the range is because I don't have an up-to-date water report. So I don't know if there's going to be water down in Grand Gulch. But so I'm basically carrying a ton of water. I got about 11 liters on my back, enough to last me for about 3 to 4 days. I'm hoping there's going to be water so that I can explore some of the lower Grand Gulch, but if not, that's fine. But the plan is to enter Kane Gulch right here and then meet up with Grand Gulch in about 4 miles. Hopefully, if time permits, I'm going to be able to get to Toady Canyon tonight. My thought is I'm going to camp somewhere between Grand Gulch and Toady Canyon today. Probably just make camp as soon as it starts getting dark out and just dry camp. Yeah, then I'm going to spend the next 2 days going down to basically the junction with Bullet Canyon, and then I'm going to take Bullet Canyon back to the car. So yeah, let's go. So last time I came out here and attempted to do this, it was like 2 years ago, like August 2018, and it was really overgrown. The trail had not been maintained, and I was just pushing my way through doing less than 1 mile an hour. This time around, the trail's much easier to follow and not as overgrown. Get ready for lots of deep beach sand. This is a shuttle hike. You'll notice I'm doing this shuttle hike solo. So I'm going from Kane Gulch to Grand Gulch to Bullet Canyon. And so my car is over at the Bullet Canyon trailhead. So on the way up, I drove to the Kane Gulch Ranger Station and I dropped my heavy pack off and then drove to the Bullet Canyon trailhead and I got my bike out and then I rode my bike to the Kane Gulch trailhead, and then I locked it up, and here we are now. Pretty interesting rocks over here. So I'm kind of walking just along this undercut. It's all kind of been polished by probably thousands of years of rain. Pretty neat. Just look at this desert varnish. Look at this, just ice on this slick rock. Massive rock fall over here, kind of a pretty neat place. All right, so we're finally getting into Kane Gulch proper. There is water down here. It is not very much. I assume it's all from snow melt. This is kind of cool, that slick rock wall over there. There's this rock that juts out from it, and it just, like, the same pattern just keeps continuing all through it. This is kind of a, sort of a water slide, kind of a dry slick rock water slide of some sort. And I'm currently bypassing this big boulder fall, and there are some pools down there that are kind of frozen still. And still making my way. This guy was standing there just like a statue, hoping that he runs off the trail soon. It looks like Mr. Deerman has exited the trail for me. So I don't like tangling with those guys. Their horns are pretty mighty and sharp. Just check out these canyon walls. All pockmarked, the sandstone, and Kane Gulch is about, I'm guessing about 1.5 miles away, maybe 2 miles, I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna cross that pour off down there. Just kind of make your way through this slick rock. There's some ice. You gotta be careful of that stuff. You gotta just hop over these dry falls. And I'm definitely not gonna get to Toady Canyon today. I'll add a couple miles onto my hike for tomorrow. Should be no problem. more goosenecked around before I get to Grand Gulch. Man, it gets dark fast in these canyons. I already lost the sun a while ago. It's like almost 3:30, but it feels like sunset already. So when you see this sort of window, that's when you know you're getting close to the junction with Grand Gulch. So that up there is Junction Ruin. That's the second level of it. I'm not even sure how you get up there besides some pretty crazy ladders. I'm sort of climbing my way up to Junction Ruin. All right, let's make our way up. Here's some of Junction Ruin. So here's this structure right in front of me here. And I'm not going to be able to show very much of this because it's almost dark. There's a bunch of the ruins up there, so. Yep. So I dropped my tripod right here. I'm gonna walk real quick. And of course the BLM of course says don't mess with the ruins. Here's a kiva. Alright. So this is kiva. My video work is pretty sloppy at the moment, but I'm kind of in a hurry, to be perfectly honest. My light is fading fast, so I need to find a place to camp. So lots more ruins to discover on this trip. That is going up Grand Gulch. I don't think there's any trail that goes up that. And here's the other side of that window that you saw as I was hiking down Kane Gulch. And then that right there, that opening is Kane Gulch that we hiked down. And to the right here, down that way is where we're going. That is Grand Gulch. Yeah, there's a decent amount of kind of icy, thin patches of snow right here. And that's one of the channels of the actual gulch. Okay, I found a campsite for the first night. It's been so quiet, like you can hear a pin drop out here. And actually I think my voice is echoing off these canyon walls. Just waiting for my dinner to rehydrate. Tonight on the menu, it is the classic skirka beans and rice with the chili cheese Fritos, and I'm not sure, maybe part of an avocado, and definitely a bunch of cheese. Look at this huge bag of cheese that I brought. I'm about either 1.5 miles to 2 miles short of where I had originally intended to camp for tonight. Originally I wanted to get out to Toady Canyon because I hear that there is usually a good seasonal spring out there. So further down, a few miles past there, is Sheiks Canyon by the green mask, which is like a petroglyph or a pictograph. and apparently that's like the best water in all of Kane Gulch. Hopefully at some point tomorrow I'll find water, otherwise this trip's gonna be really short. But that doesn't really bother me because it's really late in the year. The days are really short in November and the nights are really long and pretty dang cold. I'm like totally cool with just having a short trip. You know, if I don't find water, it's totally fine. This place is amazing. Even if you do it in 3 or 4 days, it's an amazing place to go through. So I'm just stoked to be out here. All right, here it is. The one, the only. I also put bell peppers and tomatoes in it, and I dehydrate those at home myself. I put a lot of cheese in this because I don't think I'm gonna need how much I brought for separate meals. Good night. Good morning. It's day 2. This morning we're doing ramen with eggs for breakfast. These are just your garden variety Ova Easy eggs. So I'm pouring these in. You kind of get clumpy sometimes, but you can fix that pretty easily. And ramen. Pro tip about these Ova Easy eggs is that I totally forgot. I was kind of in a hurry and I just poured them in. Usually I make a slurry. They turn out way better. They kind of get clumpy if you just pour them right into your boiling water. So anyway, I'm just finishing up breakfast here, and actually it turns out this up here is not Turkey Pen Ruin. I actually walked up to it first thing in the morning and realized it's just a giant alcove. It was pretty cool to walk up to it anyway, but actually Turkey Pen Ruin is right around this bend, so it's kind of on the other side of this canyon wall from us. So I'll be visiting that first thing once we get on the trail. Today I'm gonna head down Kane Gulch. Have about a 10-mile day ahead of me here, so hopefully I get to the confluence with Bullet. I'm expecting there to be water out there, but at the very, very least I'm gonna get to Sheiks Canyon today. So let's go. So I have a tendency to pick out faces from rocks. Today's pack weight is infinitely more tolerable than yesterday, so I drank enough water and ate enough food. I think that instead of 51 pounds, I'm probably in the low 40s now, so it's great. And right now I am making my way over to Turkey Pen Ruin. Kind of a steep path up to this big alcove where this ruin is. Pretty awesome view developing out here. Here is the pit of a kiva. So the kiva is no longer standing. And then has several small granaries. Pretty neat. And there's a bunch more over here. More granaries. Granaries, I don't know how you say it. And then more of this stuff. And Turkey Pen Ruin gets its name because of the old turkey pen that's up ahead. It's so interesting, they had turkeys penned up right on the very edge of this kind of cliff. Isn't that interesting? So the turkeys would have had this view. It's pretty amazing when you think about how much time has gone by that this turkey pen is still intact. Like, somehow these reeds and sticks have not blown over the years, and it's only the alcove above us that protects them from things like rain and such. But yeah, I don't know if there's any turkeys out here anymore, but people who used to live here domesticated turkeys and used them for food. So there's some other hikers coming up here, I think, but these are some of the pictographs in this old kiva. So there's the way I came up, and then over that way is the gulch going upwards where we came from. And then that way is the way we're going down further into Kane Gulch. Up there is Stimper Arch. Here's the way forward. I'm going to call this Shark Tooth Rock. There's some more ruins over here. I don't know if this one has a name, but this one's not too far off the trail. Check out this pictograph panel too. Lots of cool stuff going on here. Flower guy on the left, and goat riding a bicycle up at the top right. Some people call it goat on a bicycle. I call it goat on a skateboard. I guess I would have to classify this as sort of a map or something, some kind of story. So this ruin is basically a series of rooms that were connected, maybe like apartments or something, who knows, or maybe a series of granaries. This one's actually fairly intact, but we're roped off and we don't want to go in there. And then this one, or these two, have been collapsed. Yeah, this is why I came out here, kind of revisit these ruins and see what's out here. Pretty awesome. Very unique place to backpack. A lot of the trail so far has been me walking through these tall grasses. Sometimes it's easier just to walk in the drainage, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So Mostly this is flat walking in a canyon, but this is actually pretty exhausting when you have to walk up these. So maybe it doesn't come across on camera, but that's actually really steep entry and exit. And it's all really loose sand. It just kind of like falls apart under your feet. It's just very soft. So you kind of slide downwards as you walk up it. You get some obstacles, sometimes you have to get around. I'll have to go up through here. Climbing up kind of away from the canyon bottom now. Coming to some more ruins here. Very cool. Neat. So I'm a little past Toady Canyon, maybe a couple miles past it. Alright, I am coming to the big pour off. Check this out. Well, there's some water. I'm gonna go up around. There's trails on both sides. I think I'm gonna pick the north one. and back out again. Pretty awesome view. Up ahead is Split Level Ruin. It's called that because there's different levels to this ruin. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get very close to it today. That's okay. It's fine to see it from afar. I think this is about as far as I'm going to get to this thing, just because I need to make up some miles from yesterday. So I have a pretty long day. I still wanted to go up and see these ruins anyway. Pretty neat. These ones are pretty well intact. Here's the Split Level Ruins. You can literally walk right under this. It's so tall. Jeez. There is another ruin way up there. So I just ran into a group of 4 guys backpacking, and I was talking to them, and they said that they were finishing up about a 100-mile loop. I couldn't say where they started at, but they followed the San Juan River and then went all the way up Grand Gulch. So, man, that's an awesome, crazy, awesome trip. I'd like to do something like that myself someday. Because those guys must have been relying on water caches because it's super dry out here. And in fact, I asked them about water, and they kind of told me, like, there's a few puddles here and there, but they didn't go up any of the side canyons where the water usually is. But they said there's a dead deer near one of the puddles, so that's no bueno. Yet again, more ruins. I don't know what this one is called. It's kind of a cave up there. And there are several walls. Kind of sort of a guard tower thing, or maybe a kiva. And quite a few other little remnants of buildings that once were. So there's this really cool pour off over here. Sandstone stuff. About 1.5 miles from Sheiks Canyon. The Green Mask Spring over there is the most reliable water in all of Grand Gulch. If I find water, I'm just gonna camp over there. If I don't find water, I'll decide what to do then, but I might still just camp over there. Tons of tree cover in here. I think this is the thumb pour off up here. There's supposedly a way to bypass it, or maybe you just walk down it. That's awesome. Most of these pour overs you have to bypass, but this one you can just walk over. There's the other side of the pour off. And there's this pretty cool spire up here. Okay, I'm gonna head up Sheiks Canyon now, about a quarter of a mile. The gulch is that way, but I'm gonna head up this way and go take a look at the green mask and see if there's water up there. And most likely I'm gonna camp somewhere up this canyon. All right, this is Sheiks Canyon. I'm praying for some water at this spring up here. All right, that campsite over there has been noted. Looks like a good spot. Hopefully there's more than this. I'm gonna keep tracing this water up. Wow, this works. Check this out. You know, this is murky water. I'm gonna keep walking up a ways and see if I can find better pools. So that is deep enough. I can collect and filter, and then I'm gonna camp nearby. That's right. Ye old gravity filter at work here. Because I'm a lazy backpacker and don't feel like squeezing my bottles. People who don't hike in the desert probably won't understand, but it can really be life or death out here. So on this hike, I was prepared to ration myself like 1 to 1.5 liters for the hike out. But it looks like I won't have to do that now. And it's a good thing because I've been feeling kind of dehydrated today because I've been trying to ration my water. It's a little cave that we're gonna go into. Oh, yeah, you don't want to have a pack on in here. I don't know if I can even fit under this. Oh. Cool. Okay, this is not the Green Mask site. This is just a little trail that goes up to a scenic view. It's still really pretty though. I just had to climb up that. Pretty awesome view. I think I figured out the ruins. They're right up here. This is way cool. Check out this big panel here. And then there's this wall here with these designs in it. Pretty neat. And don't forget to look up either, because there could be a lot of these way up high, and it makes you really wonder how the heck they got up there and did that. I don't know what the deal is. I can't seem to find the green mask. Maybe it's like up high, or maybe it's further up the canyon. I don't know. I'm not really gonna have time to go exploring up that on this trip. If bad weather wasn't coming in a few days, I totally would spend more time down here, but yeah, so I can come back some other time and film it, but I imagine it's somewhere further up the canyon, like down that way, probably. See, this one is kind of a little creepy. I imagine the only thing in there is probably a lot of mouse droppings. Speaking of which, it's my public service announcement that you should not go into granaries because mice defecate in those things, and because they live in there, and they carry hantavirus, and you don't want that. All right, I think it is time to say goodbye to these ruins and head back down. So I gotta hit that trail down there and walk about a quarter mile back to that nice campsite that I liked. And just making my way back to that campsite. Okay, tonight I'm making this coconut cashew curry. This is an awesome dish. All right, put the curry in. Okay, I gotta put this thing in the koozie. Wait a little bit. Let's check it out. Yeah, this is good stuff. So it's like curry. There's like milk in it, and there's coconut, so it's kind of like a coconut milk curry. It's got a bunch of spices and cashews and golden raisins. All right, I'm gonna tuck into this. All right, I'm in the tent for the night. Kane Gulch place. It's pretty amazing. It was cool to see all those ruins and petroglyphs and pictographs and all that stuff. Really stoked about having found water. That was sort of the big anxiety about the whole trip, and now that's been just alleviated. Regardless, I'm just going to do 4 days out here just because I think there's some foul weather coming in, and I'd rather not deal with that and with my car dealing with that either. So I think this calls it a day for night number 2. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 3. It's kind of a cloudy day today. Hopefully get some sun here because I'm trying to charge up my batteries for my camera. But I think I'll have enough juice either way. I think I'm going to shoot for the Jailhouse ruins today and try to camp somewhere in that vicinity. I think it's going to be a really short day of about 5 miles. I'm actually really looking forward to that because it gives me more time to be able to film and see some of the ruins and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, this is an awesome campsite. It's really cool right next to this slick rock. Got some cereal this morning. Pretty cool campsite. There are some ominous clouds out there this morning, but I don't know. Forecast I got yesterday said 0 chance of rain or maybe 10% at most the next couple days. And I don't know. I think these clouds are just going to pass by. I'm going to get blue skies later. Well, my solar panel is slowly trickle charging despite the cloudy weather. Okay, so here's a quick look at the map. So we started on day 1 at the Kane Gulch Ranger Station, and I walked down a few miles to this, like right before Turkey Pen Ruin is where we camped, about 6 miles in. And then day 2, yesterday, we walked all the way down Grand Gulch, and now I think we're over here right at like kind of the opening of Sheiks Canyon, kind of almost just more like a quarter mile in. Not even, I think quarter mile in is where the spring was that I found yesterday. So for today, I'm going to travel down another 1.5 miles to the confluence with Bullet Canyon. And there might be water over here at the confluence. There's like some springs, I guess, usually. And then we're going to travel up Bullet Canyon a couple of miles, and I'm going to try to get up to this area here where Perfect Kiva is, and there's another spring over here. So I think I'm going to camp in this area tonight, and then on the last day, tomorrow, I'm going to hike the remainder of Bullet Canyon back out to where my car is at the Bullet Canyon Trailhead. Okay, so we got kind of a late start today. It's about 11:20 in the morning, and the reason for that mainly is because I needed to charge some of my batteries up, and charging solar takes a really long time. So usually if I'm doing a trip longer than 3 days and filming it, it's a pretty good bet that I'm gonna have a late start at least one of those days in order to recharge batteries. So I can't do crazy long miles when I film these trips. I have spotted more ruins. There's several kind of rock wall structures up there. So that's how far away they are. Well, it looks like I overshot my destination, Bullet Canyon, by almost a quarter of a mile. I guess I got to go back that direction. I think that's the opening to it. I passed by it without even knowing it. I didn't notice anything that looked like a canyon opening to the side to me. So I don't know where I went wrong, but I'll find it. Alright, I am now in Bullet Canyon. This is a view looking to the left of the trail. Pretty cool. I climbed up kind of high onto the sort of scenic view of the lower Bullet Canyon. So that direction is the way we're headed, up canyon. Check this out. Pretty cool view. Really fascinating colors coming out of these rocks, like this pour off that's white. At first I thought it might be ice, but I think that's just the color of the rock. We're gonna bypass the pour off over there and go up. I think we're gonna climb a good amount. Oh man, this is quite steep. It's a little climb here. The reason I decided to split Bullet Canyon into 2 days is because I knew it was going to be steep uphill for a lot of the canyon. Almost to the top of this little chute here. Man, view after view. This place is awesome. So there is more ruins out there. Check it out. Kind of hard to see. It's pretty far out there. So I think I'm about 1.5 miles from Jailhouse Ruin. So I'm planning on camping somewhere in between Jailhouse Ruin and Perfect Kiva. Oh my gosh, that's not even half of it. So now I'm on the other side of that thin lake feature that I filmed on the way in. Got more of these vertical rock walls. What I find fascinating is how the south wall of the canyon looks so much different than the north canyon wall. Right, straight ahead up there, I believe that is Jailhouse Ruin. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up there today, but if I see a clear path up around here I will, but it's pretty high up from where I'm at. What's really cool are these white pictographs up here. And here it is from another angle. I kind of took a spur trail off for a different view of it. Okay, I climbed up on a slick rock bench above the trail just to have a better view of the whole canyon system. So that's Bullet Canyon, and straight ahead in the camera frame is where Jailhouse Ruin is. Okay, so straight out that way is Perfect Kiva, I believe. So I guess if you were to go up there, you can actually sort of climb down into it via a ladder. I've decided not to go up to them. Instead, I'm just viewing from afar with my telephoto. Yeah, I've been walking and I haven't seen any good campsites so far. Oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Campsite right here. Beautiful. And got some slick rock above me. This campsite has an awesome view. And I'm actually a lot closer to the car than I thought I would be. I think I'm only about, I'm guessing about 4 miles. I thought it was gonna be like 5 miles tomorrow to the car. So a nice short hike out tomorrow, which is fine by me because some of the stuff we have to go up tomorrow at the top of Bullet Canyon is pretty steep. All right. Done for the day. Check out the view from my campsite for night number 3. Is this awesome or what? I can't decide which I like better, the north wall or the south wall. Both have their own charm. And tomorrow, that's the way we're headed. Through that narrow opening over there. Pretty neat little cave up there. Check it out, you can see the moon rising very faintly. Alright, my camp is officially set up. I brought my dromedary water bag on this trip, and it's proven to be invaluable. It's hanging up at the moment. But I really like camping by these junipers. I've always really enjoyed juniper campsites. Here's the tent, and here's the view. Alright, so I'm camped at what I think is about 1 mile to 1.5 miles past, or I guess up canyon from the Jailhouse Ruin and Perfect Kiva Ruin. So I think tomorrow is going to be a really pretty short hike out of here. Yeah, so tonight I'm going to make some, I think, extra cheesy mac and cheese. I'm not going to film that one. But yeah, today was really cool. It was neat to see all those ruins, and I didn't get up to any of them just because I didn't feel like doing all that scrambling up slick rock. So the days are short, and that means there's not a lot of time for side trips. So, but anyway, I think it's time for dinner, and I'm going to call it a night for day number 3. See you tomorrow. Good morning, it is day 4. So I've already packed up and ate breakfast and everything, so I'm about to hit the trail, and I think I have about 5 miles back to the car up Bullet Canyon. The map shows it at about 3.5 miles, but something I forgot to mention the last few days is that all of the mileages have been really short on the map. What I've recorded is way longer than what's on the map, and me walking back and forth with the camera can't account for that. There's got to be something else up, so I think the actual mileages of like what you walk end up being longer than what's on the map. So I'm just going to assume 5 miles today, which is a pretty short hike anyway. It's all uphill up Bullet Canyon, so yeah, let's go. Well, my pack today feels like it's a lot lighter than the last few days. I'm only carrying a few 2-3 liters of water, which is awesome. So I can go uphill up this canyon a lot faster than I otherwise would have. What a beautiful canyon. Wow. Alright, so this is the way we are going up the trail. So we have to get all the way up to the top. Not exactly right there, but you know, in the ballpark. We're climbing up that high today. More of this deep beach sand to climb up. Pretty dense brush through here. Wow. Down there is the main drainage, and it's about 4 feet lower than the trail, and right in the trail you have this, which this indicates to me that when this flash floods, it comes way above the level of the trail and comes down with a lot of force. But yeah, this is the view looking back where I came from. It's so interesting how little water there is out here, because these reeds, you usually don't see this kind of foliage without some water around. That just speaks to how dry 2020 has been. is getting kind of scrambly now. All right, cool. It looks like we're gonna do some slick rock bench walking along the canyon rim for a little bit. All right, we are meeting back into the drainage, I guess, finally. So, looks like people do follow the canyon up because there's footsteps all through here. And looks like we're gonna do some kind of boulder scrambling through here. Well, here's the big water pocket pour off in Bullet Canyon. It's a pretty gross pool of water down here. Almost kind of in upper Bullet Canyon now. The conditions are kind of gnarly down here, but they're not terrible. Big pour off. That's a pretty cool climb. Onto more slick rock bench. Looks to be a spring that's trickling up from one of the side canyons here. Decent water actually. So this is not Bullet Canyon, this is actually a side canyon. Continue up Bullet Canyon. Alright, so this is the crux of the whole canyon. Gotta climb up this thing. Actually, I was expecting it to be worse than it looks. There's a nice step up right here. Gotta shimmy yourself up top. Don't even need to take your pack off. That climb is easier than it looks, but it's still a breather. So it looks like Bullet Canyon is finally starting to kind of decrease in depth. So we're finally climbing out of the canyon. All right, it looks like I have about 1.5 miles left to the car, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be just mostly flat walking, sort of with a uphill incline from here on out. But yeah, my GPS says I've already traveled a little over 5 miles, so I guess my suspicions were confirmed that there's something up with the map mileages. I think they must have been sort of just simplified down. The actual hiking itself is a lot longer because you're constantly sort of snaking through the canyon. There's a little bit of water trickling out. So there's water trickling right out of the canyon wall right here, and I don't think this is snow melt. So it's possible that it's snow melt, but I think it might just be a spring. Alright, so as we climb up, that canyon rim is going to level off really close to us, and I'm gonna be climbing out pretty soon. So I believe that out there is called Lookout Tower Ruin. Here's a better shot of Lookout Tower from a different angle. Oh, what a pleasant walking trail. Okay, I'm now making the climb out of Bullet Canyon, so I'm just like a 1/4 mile from the trailhead. There's Bullet Canyon. There's a big group coming up. My goodness! I am almost out. All right, I'm on top of Cedar Mesa. Awesome, I am back to the car. All right, so I'm done with the hike. This was really awesome. Most people do this hike in about 3 days. I did it in 4, mainly because of the filming that I had to do. But it's just a really beautiful area. Go down Kane Gulch and pretty fast you get pretty deep canyon narrows. And then when you're in Grand Gulch proper, it just becomes like this really wide canyon. So I just had a really good time, and Bullet Canyon was really the showstopper. That was pretty awesome, being able to like walk up those slick rock like pour-offs and stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I would go in the springtime when there's a lot more water out there, because that was a little bit harrowing. And I would go also when there's longer days, so that you have time to view all the ruins and go up to them and all that stuff, because I didn't really have time to do all that on this trip. So, but anyway, I think that calls it for this trip. I'll see you next time. Like if you like, and subscribe for more. Later.